Hi, my name's Lee Gardner. I don't do pensions. That's just one of the multiple things I hear from people when it comes to talking about saving and investing. They're too expensive, they're a rip-off, you can't get your money out of them, I'm too old, I'm too young, the charges are too high, they're complicated. Hopefully over the next few minutes, I'm going to break some of those myths when I talk to you about pensions and explain what a fantastic vehicle it is to put money away and to save for your future. So I'm going to go through and explain the basics of pensions for you. So first and foremost, a pension is purely a savings plan. It's a savings plan to get you where you are now to where you want to be in the future. And it has some really good benefits linked to it. So it's a savings plan, first and foremost. And this is a savings plan that you can contribute money into. Now you can contribute money in on a regular basis. You can put single premiums, you can do ad hoc, you can bring other pension contributions together. You decide. The other thing over here is the Inland Revenue, HMRC, the government, call it what you want. They will also make a contribution to your pension plan to help and encourage you to save. And depending on your tax position, this could be up to 45% tax relief going into your plan. What else could you have where you could invest money and overnight there's an uplift of 45% on your investment before it's even invested into anything? So that's the first thing. If you're very lucky, you might also have an employer that also contributes to the scheme. So what happens? You go along and you start to put money in and you start to build up a fund. What happens is that money gets invested. Now, here's one of the other myths. It's high risk. That's absolute garbage. You are in complete control of how that money gets invested. So if you are a low risk investor or you're close to retirement and you do not want to take any stock market or equity risk, you could have your money sitting in cash, okay? So you don't have to go into high risk funds if that's your choice. So you could go into cash, you could hold it in cash until such time as you either wanted to go into the market or you start to access benefits. On the other hand, it's a fantastic vehicle for you to have great investment choices and options. You may want to invest in China, in India, you want to go to emerging markets. It gives you the freedom to invest globally in your pension fund to try and grow the value. Now, the great news is if you've chosen the right strategy and you start to make some money, the good news is any growth within your pension is pretty much tax-free. So any returns that you make, there's no tax that's going to come out of those returns. So you've got this plan ticking along. You can then access benefits currently from age 55. Now, one of the changes that we saw recently was the abolition of you having to purchase a lifetime annuity when you wanted to take benefits from your pension. Now, for some people, converting their pension to a fixed, guaranteed lifetime income is probably the right thing to do. For others, it isn't, and there's a variety of reasons, and we can talk another time about that. But the great news is you have the choice. So you can buy an annuity, you can leave the money in, you can take money out ad hoc. It is completely flexible how you access your money when you want to start taking benefits out of it. And the one thing we can tell you for absolute certainty is that you're allowed to take out, regardless of your tax position, 25% of your fund completely and utterly tax-free, irrelevant of other income and in terms of what you're doing. And you can do that standalone, you can do it in combination with the rest of the pot, but that is the first major benefit when you come to drawing benefits. The remaining fund, when you start to draw on it, I'm going to put the term here, potentially taxable. Okay. Again, I've posted other videos on the taxation of pension benefits. If you access all of your money in one go, whatever you draw from this residual pot forms part of your tax assessment for the year and will be taxed accordingly. So you could pay 0, 20, 40, 45% tax depending, really should take advice in this area. But what that means, and we have several clients doing it, if you're not in receipt of other income, you could draw out of your pension part up to the personal allowance and you will not pay any tax. So you are in a position, you effectively could drip out or strip out your pension benefits and not pay any tax at all. And again, this is where maybe you need to seek some advice. So far, so good. However, what happens, Lee? I'm building all this money up. What happens if I pop my clogs? Well, the good news, well, not good for you, but the good news for your family is if anything happens before 75, anything you've accumulated will pass to your nominated beneficiaries completely free of tax. Okay? So after 75, there's some rule changes, and we can look at those separately. But before 75, if anything happens to you, all of the money will pass across to your beneficiaries tax-free. We're talking about defined contribution schemes here. The other thing is the value of your pension assets do not form part of your estate for inheritance tax purposes. So again, if you're in a situation where the value of your estate is worth more than £1 million, including your property, the good news is any pension assets are not going to exacerbate the situation and create an inheritance tax bill because it sits outside of that, which I think is fantastic. So all in all, that's a very quick whistle-stop tour of some of the basic principles of pensions. And I genuinely think this is the best way you can save for your future. I think it's a phenomenal way to build up your assets, to take advantage of those tax benefits. So hopefully we won't be saying I don't like pensions, we'll be saying I do like pensions. So get on board, review the pensions that you maybe already accumulated, because one of the things, some of the older schemes are maybe not on as good a charging structure as some of the new arrangements. See your pension advisor, take some advice, review your situation, and let's get saving for your future. This is Lee Gardner signing off, and as always, money matters. Thank you.